We love our cats, maybe more than anyone else in this world. Those tiny paws, those silent steps, those eyes that melt our hearts with a single glance. But sometimes, without even realizing it, we hurt them. A careless word, a small action, or something we do with love that actually makes them sad. And the saddest part is this: they never tell us. They just grow a little quieter, a little more distant. Today, we'll talk about 10 things we do that unknowingly hurt our cats, and most of us don't even realize it. If you truly love your cat, stay until the end, because this is the time to understand them better and get a little closer to their silent hearts. I'm Feline Muse, and now let's listen to what the cats have been trying to tell us all along. 1. Forcing your love on them. Cats decide how they want to be loved. We want to hold them, kiss them, squeeze them tight, because that's how we show affection. But for them, that same gesture can feel like an invasion. They value freedom more than anything, and when we scoop them up without asking, we take that freedom away, even if just for a moment. What looks like a simple act of love to us might leave a trace of stress or discomfort in their hearts. A cat does want to be loved, but always on its own terms. When your cat comes to you and rubs its head against you, that's its way of saying, "I'm ready now." But when you grab it and hold it tight, you're really saying, "I don't understand you." And that, for a creature that trusts through silence, is one of the softest forms of heartbreak. Sometimes love isn't about holding on, it's about waiting. Because when your cat walks to you on its own, that's when the real bond begins. 2. Ignoring their meows. Cats don't speak, but they say so much. A meow isn't always about food. Sometimes it means, "Look at me, understand me," or even, "I feel lonely today." But most of the time, we don't notice. We're lost in our phones, our screens, or our thoughts, and when that little voice calls out, we answer with, "What now?" without even looking up. And in that moment, your cat feels something it should never feel: unseen. Cats don't cry, they don't shout, they don't argue. They simply go quiet, curl up somewhere else, and stop trying. Each time we ignore them, they withdraw a little more into themselves. And eventually, they stop calling, because they've learned that we won't listen. Living with a cat isn't just about feeding it, it's about sharing a language. Every meow is a word in that language, and when we stop hearing it, we stop understanding them. So next time your cat meows, don't just listen with your ears, listen with your heart. Because sometimes that tiny sound is really a soul whispering, "Notice me." 3. Scolding them for being naughty. When a vase breaks, a plant falls, or the couch gets scratched, our first reaction is usually anger. "Bad cat," we say. "What did you do?" But here's the truth. Cats don't do wrong things. They explore, they learn, they live. What looks like mischief to us is actually their way of understanding the world. Cats are natural-born investigators. They touch, jump, knock things over, and observe. That's how they survive in nature. When we yell or scold them for it, they don't learn a lesson. They just feel fear. In their minds, the thought is simple: "I did something bad. Maybe I'm not safe here." And slowly, they start hiding their claws and their trust. When you raise your voice, your cat lowers its head, avoids your eyes, and in that quiet moment, its heart sinks a little. Because it didn't want to upset you, it wanted to understand you. To a cat, the harsh tone of your voice is the loudest heartbreak it can hear. So next time something falls, take a breath. Remember, it wasn't rebellion, it was curiosity. And curiosity isn't disobedience. It's the purest form of a cat's spirit. Maybe, instead of silencing that curiosity, we should let it remind us how to stay curious ourselves. 4. Disturbing them while they sleep. When a cat sleeps, it's not just resting. It's healing. It's feeling safe. It's rebuilding both body and soul. Cats sleep 12 to 16 hours a day because sleep is written deep in their instincts. It's how they survive, how they stay whole. And yet, we often can't resist touching them while they dream. We stroke their fur, move them gently, or pick them up because they look so peaceful, so cute. But in that moment, we unknowingly enter their most sacred space, their trust. Falling into a deep sleep means a cat truly feels safe in your home. When they jolt awake from a sudden touch, it's not annoyance, it's fear. Their instincts whisper, "Something's wrong. I'm not safe." Your love is misread as a threat, and little by little, the invisible thread of trust begins to weaken. Cats find love in silence and peace. When they sleep, they are at their most vulnerable, and that's when they trust you the most. Touching them then isn't just disturbing a nap, it's disturbing that trust. Sometimes love means holding still. It means simply watching their peaceful breathing, being there quietly without breaking the calm. Because the most beautiful moment to touch a cat is when they wake up, look at you, and choose to come closer. 5. Not respecting their personal space. Cats aren't antisocial. They're territorial. A corner, a couch, a spot by the window. These aren't just random places. They are sanctuaries of safety, peace, and identity. We, as humans, often forget that our homes are shared worlds. That cozy chair may be your favorite seat, but when your cat curls up there, it's not claiming ownership, it's showing trust. And yet, we so often move them aside, relocate their beds, or buy a new one because this looks better. But for a cat, new doesn't always mean comfortable. A cat's scent marks its world. It's how it recognizes itself within a space. When we wash, move, or replace the things that carry their scent, we unknowingly erase the traces of who they are. Then we wonder why they stop sleeping in that spot, why they avoid their bed, why they suddenly seem distant. But to them, we've crossed a boundary they thought was sacred. Cats breathe easiest where they're left undisturbed. So next time you see your cat lying in your spot, pause for a second. Do you really need that chair? Or can you share it? Because cats love to share when they choose to, but they never like to be forced. If your cat sleeps peacefully beside you, it's not because you trained it to trust. It's because you earned that trust. And that kind of comfort can't be bought. It can only be respected. 6. Ignoring their emotions. Cats aren't emotionless. They just express their feelings in silence. A dog might bark when sad, a person might cry, but a cat simply grows quiet. And in that quiet, there can be a deep kind of sorrow we never notice. One day they don't want to play. The next they avoid your eyes. And then they barely touch their food. We brush it off thinking, they're just moody. But in truth, they're trying to tell us something. Cats sense us better than we think. They can feel tension in our voices, restlessness in our footsteps, even the heaviness in our hearts. But we rarely try to feel them in return. When our cat is sad and we laugh, they see more than our face. They feel the contrast in our energy. And that's when they begin to retreat, because they realize that the one they trust doesn't truly see them. Yes, cats can feel sadness. They grieve, they worry, and when hurt, they go silent. They don't cry for attention. They withdraw to protect themselves. That distance isn't coldness. It's a quiet form of pain. When you look into your cat's eyes, you might not hear words, but you'll see emotions reflected like light on water. Those eyes don't search for the hand that feeds. They search for the heart that understands. To truly see your cat, open your heart, not your eyes. Because a cat doesn't want to be owned. It wants to be felt. 7. Giving them a life without joy. A home may feel safe to us, but to a cat, it can quietly become a prison of stillness. We go to work, to school, we meet friends, but they stay. In the same rooms, the same silence, the same routine. We come home and think, oh, they've been sleeping all day. But that sleep often hides something deeper. Boredom. Cats are born hunters. Their joy lives in the chase, the leap, the curiosity, the surprise. When that instinct goes unused, it doesn't disappear. It dims. And over time, the sparkle in their eyes fades. They play less, move less, and watch the world through a window they can never reach. A cat doesn't just live on food and water. It lives on stimulation, on play, on the feeling of being alive. When we don't feed that part of them, they lose not only interest in their toys, but in us. And the saddest part is that they never complain. They simply stop showing us their joy. So bring life back to their world. A string, a shadow, a box. To them, these are adventures waiting to happen. When you see your cat's eyes widen, pupils glow, and that hunter's spirit awaken once again, you'll realize that what you gave wasn't a game. It was happiness. Because to a cat, play isn't just fun. It's love in motion. And a playful cat is the heartbeat of a peaceful home. 8. Punishing or ignoring them out of anger. Cats don't make mistakes the way humans do. They simply act on instincts we don't understand. When they knock something over, scratch furniture, or even bite, we often take it personally. They did this to me. But cats don't know revenge and they don't plan to hurt. Their actions are born from confusion, fear, or curiosity, never spite. Still, we treat them like humans and try to punish them. Or worse, we go silent, pretending we're teaching them a lesson. And in that silence, their little hearts quietly break. Cats don't understand punishment. They only feel disconnection. When you yell, they don't hear words. They feel vibration, tension, and pain in your tone. When you stop talking to them, they don't know what they did. They just sense distance. That confusion becomes sadness, and that sadness slowly turns into stress. For a cat, the harshest punishment isn't physical. It's emotional. To not hear your voice, to not feel your warmth, to see the love they trust turn cold, that's what hurts most. Cats forgive easily, but they never forget how something made them feel. They may hide, they may look away, but when they curl up beside you again, it's not forgetfulness, it's faith. They believe in love more than fear. Punishment teaches nothing. Understanding teaches everything. A cat doesn't need discipline, it needs patience. Because when you lower your voice and open your heart, Your cat hears what words can never say. You're safe again. 9. Missing the messages in their eyes. Cats don't speak, but their eyes tell entire stories. One look can mean, I'm happy, another can whisper, I'm scared. But most of us never learn to read this silent language. When their pupils widen, we assume it's just the light, but often it's the body's quiet scream of excitement or fear. When a cat blinks slowly, it's saying, I trust you. And yet we're too distracted to notice. Scrolling, typing, moving on. That tiny moment of trust disappears into nothing. Cats communicate through gaze. When they stare at you, they're learning who you are. But if you stare back too long, they feel threatened. In their world, love is shown through gentle eyes and slow blinks, a soft exchange of peace between two souls. When we fail to see that, we lose the most beautiful part of connection. A cat chooses you first with its eyes. Before it sits on your lap or sleeps beside you, it watches. Not your hands, but your energy. If it sees calm, it comes closer. If it feels tension, it keeps its distance. Because cats don't believe in appearances, they believe in energy. So next time your cat looks at you, don't look away. Blink slowly, just once. Wait, and you'll see it blink back. That moment, that quiet, wordless exchange, isn't just communication, it's love, returned in the only language a cat truly speaks. 10. Seeing them only as a pet. Cats aren't domestic by nature. They simply chose to live beside us. That choice is delicate, built on trust and freedom, yet we often forget what it really means. We treat them like decorations, companions, or living toys. We feed them, clean their litter, buy them toys, and we convince ourselves that's love. But for a cat, true love isn't in routine. It's in respect. Your cat isn't an object in your home. It's a soul sharing your space. Sometimes it watches the world from a window. Sometimes it curls quietly beside you. Sometimes it simply exists in your silence. Even when you don't speak, it feels you. It senses your sadness, your calm, your storms. Cats are mirrors of the human heart. The way you look at them becomes the way they see you. You don't own a cat, you are accepted by one. And that's an honor few truly understand. Because cats don't give their trust easily. But once they do, it's gentle, steady, and eternal. So don't just feed your cat. Nourish its spirit. Don't just pet it. Understand it. A cat's love isn't spoken. It's felt. And sometimes that quiet presence, that soft heartbeat in the corner of the room is all it takes to heal a human soul.